Hello everyone, it's been about 3 years since I made my video on how to charge your air conditioning system on your car. As I kind of look back, I haven't checked it out a whole lot. I'm reading the comments and I see a lot of people posting things that I would love to make arguments to. I want to clarify how this works. In the past 3 years, I've had the awesome opportunity to learn a lot about cars, and it's really a great hobby of mine. I've rebuilt V8s, I actually redid my entire Camaro from the ground up. I've taken the whole interior apart. I've torn apart HVAC systems. I really have a great understanding of how things work. So a few things I want to clear up now. Some people argue that my method is unsafe, especially for modern cars. As if you're watching this video, it's most likely that you're not driving a 2014 Corvette, because it'd be under warranty and it'd be under service. Any car that's still under warranty is probably the car that you don't want to do this to. If your pressure is too low, your clutch isn't going to kick in and you have to jump it in order to fill the system back up. This is a perfectly safe procedure as long as you follow the steps in the video. I read a lot of things in the comments. People have a lot of very general questions. My relay box doesn't have these numbers. I don't see the pinouts. It's really a good idea to watch this video, take a breath, go to AutoZone and get the Hey News manual for your car, in addition to doing a little background research on your own. All cars aren't the same, you have to do your own research. The repair manuals are awesome. You'll never regret buying one, especially if you plan on owning the car for a longer period of time. Another thing I want to clear up is I often address the refrigerant as coolant in this video. It is true that the refrigerant does act as coolant for the compressor because there's moving parts in it and it keeps it cold. However, it's also important not to mix this up with the coolant that runs through your engine to keep it at operating temperature. Another thing I'd like to address is some people said, don't waste your money on this $10 tool to get the job done. Go online and get the whole manifold kit. The manifold kit is awesome, and I do have one. It's not for the do-it-yourselfer. If you're going to be using the manifold kit to read both high and low line pressures, you're going to be using it for diagnostics, which means you're going to have a lot of background knowledge and know what those numbers actually mean. So spend the $10 and get the cheap adapter that plugs into your low line kit and lets you fill it up and read the pressure. Another thing I'd like to address is you can continue to fill up your system with refrigerant as much as you want, but if it keeps emptying out, it means you have a leak. Please get it fixed because refrigerant is a pollutant in the environment. This is why most mechanics actually won't refill your system or even touch it before they verify that there are no leaks. Another thing someone said is that if the clutch isn't turning on, it's because the computer senses a problem and it should stay off. My argument is that the computer in your car isn't a magic machine that sees every area under your hood and knows exactly what to do. The computer is simply a programmed piece of equipment that reads, this switch is off, so turn this off. The pressure is not correct here, so do this. It's all programmed. Doing this isn't really going to hurt anything. If someone claims that running your clutch without enough refrigerant in it is going to damage it, think about this. In the 4x4 and off-road community, a lot of people use these AC compressors as an air pump and hook it up to a tank. What I mean by this is they have onboard air. Instead of using it to compress the refrigerant and cool down the interior of your car, they use it to just compress air, put it in a tank, and then use power tools, inflate tires, and anything else they need compressed air for. How do they oil it? They use inline tool oilers using hydraulic oil that only drops a few drops of oil every X amount of seconds. It's not much, but you rarely hear of any problems. So there's really almost zero risk or harm that you could do to your car just by jumping your clutch and running your compressor for 10 or 30 seconds while you fill the system up and check things out. So I hope that this video answered some questions for you guys. It's been a while since I made that last video, and I've learned a lot since. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to try to answer them. Thank you.